Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7. A brand new time trial is here involving the Toyota Yaris at Barcelona Rallycross Layout. And if you can nail this, you are looking at 2 million credits in under a single minute. Honestly, it's going to depend on your overall confidence on the dirt events of Gran Turismo 7. However, it is a nice breather from that brutal mammoth of a time trial we had with the Group 1 cars at Le Mans. So let's dive straight into it then. Lap time challenge, Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia on the Rallycross Layout using the Toyota GR Yaris RZ High Performance 2020. Now, I did jump on within the first few minutes, and the top 3% time was a 50.467 for 2 million credits. Top 5% was 51.447 for 1 million credits, and top 10% was a 53.897 for 250k. Now again, this will change over the next couple of weeks as drivers improve and yourself will improve. So we have the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya Rallycross Layout. The entry period for this one is the 14th of November 2024 until the 28th. Usable tyres are dirt, wide body prohibited, and nitrous and overtake prohibited. Of course, it's a specified car with the Toyota GR Yaris. BOP is low speed. You can choose from a garage or event specified car. Car settings are specified, track limit is normal, and shortcut and wall collision will invalidate your lap times. So let's move into some general tips to tackle this time trial. This will give you the best practices possible. So up first, as always, has to be no assist. Just turn them off. They are to no use to you. They are absolutely going to bog the car down. They're going to make it feel really hefty, and it's going to be incredibly awkward throughout this event. Now again, because we are swapping constantly from the dirt to the tarmac, I just wouldn't recommend any of the assists. It just makes the car feel really slow, really heavy, and it's just honestly not worth your time. Up next, I recommend booting up a replay before you even go ahead and tackle it. Now you can head over to this section on the global ranking and boot up a replay from there where you can study the fastest lap times in the world. I do fully recommend doing this at least a few times over the next couple of weeks. Next up is actually loading up a ghost that is close to your lap time. This way you can kind of follow him around, see what kind of cuts they're making, and see where you are losing the most time. This is a genuinely good practice to do. Two very track specific ones. The first has to be the barriers. Just watch for them. Their hit detection on the inside of the barriers is incredibly awkward in certain camera angles. And the next is actually going ahead and boost starting. All the fastest lap times seem to be doing this, where you reverse and then shoot yourself off across the line onto your lap. So let's have a rundown of the car then, shall we? This is the Toyota GR Yaris RZ from 2020. It has 268 brake horsepower from a 1.6 inline 3, which is of course turbocharged. The best thing about the car is it's all-wheel drive. None of that front-wheel drive stuff or rear-wheel drive stuff here. It's practically a road-going WRC machine. Of course, if you know anything about the WRC, they do run the Yaris in both Rally 1 and Rally 2, so WRC and WRC 2. So you're basically going to get all of that put into a road-going version. It's very much a lightweight hot hatch. Although it does weigh a pretty hefty 1200 kilograms, it really doesn't feel it. It's very lightweight and also very agile. It's a very small car overall. However, it can suffer off-road when short shifting, where the turbo will basically be non-existent. So do watch for that. Overall, it's a very beginner-friendly car, and it should be one that you should be able to go far with. Honestly, I would say this is a very beginner-friendly car. It's massively accessible to all types of skill levels. Honestly, there is a few things you need to be aware of though. That 268 brake horsepower really isn't anything to turn your nose up at, especially on a track this tight and this small. 268 brake horsepower can be quite a bit. It will launch incredibly quick, coupled with that all-wheel drive system. Now another thing to note is, yes, the car is incredibly agile, very small, and can get through almost anywhere. However, with how some of the camera angles are laid out, especially in GT7, like the bumper cam, it can also end up meaning that yes, you can do some incredible cuts, but there is a chance you may clip the inside of the barriers. So just be aware of that. However, because it is such a small and agile package, you can do some huge cuts cuts and absolutely get away with them. Overall, this is an incredible vehicle. So let's move on to my fastest lap. So I do want to give a bit of a disclaimer before we jump into the lap though, that these times will improve over the next couple of weeks. Mine will, your guys will, and of course the top times will. So this isn't a guaranteed gold necessarily, but again, if you kind of go with the flow and start improving over the next couple of weeks, it's really not too bad. So let's get into my fastest lap then. Here we go. We're going to use that little bit of a boost start to get ourselves going and carry ourselves forward into the first troublesome turn. So I'm going to slow down the majority of this lap. The first awkward part then is this right-hander here. Now in an ideal world, the momentum would have shot us round the corner. I did have to adjust slightly. You then want to short shift up to third, but not too early or actually get a ton of turbo lag with this car. We're then going to hit the big jump. Now again, this can be quite awkward, but you want to land it as cleanly as possible. Stick to the right hand side in third gear and do this cut as close to the barrier as possible. Then down into second, down into first, and then once again head towards the left hand side for another little cut. Now just be aware with that barrier, you want to be as close as possible, but definitely don't whack it. I did short shift up to third a little too early here. I should have revved the car out slightly, then look for the GT7 advertisement board. It's the last one where you want to brake and then once again get ready for some throttle control. So again, we're going to lift off, let the car turn in, and then use the throttle control on the way out. Now again, there's another cut here. Be as close but do not hit the barrier. Another little cut here on the left, again as close to that as possible, but again not too much of a cut. Then do not cut that white line as it will invalidate your lap time. Then we get to the most awkward section of the track, I would say, where you want to dip it into first, be incredibly close to that barrier, and up to second. Just be aware that the car feels like it's just going to struggle to get going again. I really need to try and nail that bit. Definitely time to find, but overall not too bad. It was good enough for a 22nd in the world by 8 AM this morning. There's definitely plenty of time to really make up there, and I'm sure the gold time will just get quicker and quicker. But in terms of the car itself and the track here, if you can just jump in and nail it, you're looking at a gold in under 1 minute. It's really a nice break in comparison to what we saw last week, which was of course the Group 1 at Le Mans. That one was a brutal mammoth of a time trial, so it is nice to get something a little bit short and sweet. And honestly, the Yaris on the dirt really is a nice feeling car. For me personally, this is definitely one of the more enjoyable time trials we've had recently. Of course, the Dodge Viper one just ended and I did get a nice easy gold in that one. In terms of this one though, it could be a little tricky. It's going to be all about your personal confidence, of course, on this very small rallycross track. Anyway, I will be back next week with another time trial, and I'll be back tomorrow as well, of course, when the GT7 weekly challenges go ahead and refresh. That's it from me today. Take care, guys. Peace.